Welcome to the Indy Car Dad Podcast, 5-minute preview of the Only Bowls Grand Prix of Portland. This is the Portland Indy Car Race. It's coming up this weekend. And what I do is I look at all of the data, average finishes, standard deviation of those finishes, past winners, all sorts of data. And then I bring you some drivers that I think you want to watch during the race. And the reason I think you want to watch these drivers is because it will be fun to watch these drivers. So I'm not doing betting odds. I'm not making predictions on who's going to win. I'm just going to tell you, historically, these drivers have had very interesting races at Portland. So this week I'm going to start by telling you who's won the last few races at Portland. So last year, Will Power won the race. And it was really a great victory for him because Penske had been shut out and he didn't have a contract. And he just was like, I remember he was like, respect my name or something like that when it was all done. So Will Power won last year. He also won the year before. Alex Palou won in 2023. Scott McLaughlin won in 2022. Alex Palou won in 2021. Will Power won in 2019. And Takuma Sato, driving for Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan, won in 2018. There was no 2020 race in Portland. So let's talk about 4 drivers you should watch because they have strong average finishes at Portland. The first is Alex Palou. He leads in best average finish. So, it might be one of those races where Alex Palou, it's a road course and he tends to dominate. So watch for Alex Palou to have a strong day on Sunday. Scott McLaughlin is second in average finish. Then Felix Rosenqvist squeaks in there. And then Alexander Rossi. So these are our top 4 average finishers at Portland. So we're going to look for some drivers that you might not normally watch. Rosenqvist and Rossi are 2 people you probably don't really keep an eye on every week. So look for them to do well. Now, let's talk about drivers that could be having a great day or be having a terrible day. And those 2 are Will Power and Scott Dixon. Yeah, those guys. Like all that experience and they still sometimes finish 25th. Dixon even finished 28th in 2024, so just 2 years ago. And you think 28th? I thought we only had 27 cars. And there was actually an extra car that weekend, and Dixon crashed out early and finished worse than they did. So look for Power and Dixon to have questionable races. Will they do well? Will they do poorly? Let's watch and find out. Then there's 2 drivers that have bad average finishes, even though they're having great seasons this year. So we should look for these 2 drivers to turn it all around. And they're actually 2-3 in the championship right now. So Kyle Kirkwood and David Malukas. Kirkwood has a 13th average finish at Portland, and Malukas has a 15th average finish. So these guys are way down the charts as far as average finish goes, and they're chasing Alex Palou in the championship. So it's kind of feast or famine for those 2. So that's Kirkwood and Malukas. And then finally, the worst average finish of any driver driving right now is really, really bad. And it belongs to Romain Grosjean. This is how he's finished in the last 4 races at Portland. 22nd, 19th, 27th, and 27th again, giving him a 24th average finish. That's unheard of bad. Like usually the worst guy will have like 19th average finish. I should also note we had a little discussion this week over Connor Daly. Now I don't try to pick sides on drivers, but Connor Daly should be glad he's not racing this weekend. His average finish at Portland is a 22nd, which is really bad, like almost historically bad, but only Grosjean is worse. So there you go. That's my drivers to watch for this weekend's race. Palou, McLaughlin, Rosenqvist to have really good days. Power, Dixon to be great or not great, big standard deviation. Kirkwood and Malukas to turn around bad finishes in the past where they need to do well for the championship. So Portland's a great racetrack, natural road course. Generally, I find in the past that the TV broadcast doesn't capture the race very well. Like there's some camera angles that they miss. Like last year, I think they really missed a lot of the interaction between Christian Rasmussen sort of running Connor Daly off the road. So anyway, Sunday's race. I hope you enjoy it. I'll be watching as well. I'm moving this week, so stay tuned for a little of that. If you want to know more about me moving my shop, to Florida, that'll be on social media. So IndyCar Dad on all the social media networks, and the IndyCar Dad podcast on podcast networks and on YouTube. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope to see you at the races. If you see me, say hi. I'm friendly, but I won't be at Portland. I'll be on the couch.